So, hello Chaitanya, welcome to our show.
Hi.
So, hope you're doing good.
Yeah, hope you're doing good as well.
Yes, I'm doing good. So let me introduce our guest. He is Chaitanya Choice Srinivas. He is a recently qualified chartered accountant. He secured an All India 11th rank in CA final examination and got an 18th rank in CA intermediate examination. Apart from that, he is a part-time lecturer in one of the famous CA coaching academy. So, without any further delay, let's get into the video. And thank you for sharing your CA final certificate copies. You can find his certificate copies as well as mine in my Telegram channel. I will just share the link of my Telegram channel in the description. CA is one of the toughest posts in India where the passing percentage ranging from only 10 to 15%. So in such a difficult examination, you manage to secure all India rank in almost all the levels of the examination. So what are the common strategies that you followed that helped you to ace in the examination?
Yeah,
So can
sure.
you just
So, common strategy would be, yeah, I agree that CA is one of the toughest course, but ultimately with consistency and smart work, you can definitely ace it. So, one thing that I was very confident about is I worked very consistently all across all the three levels. That is, because what I feel is instead of studying once in 10 days, if you just spend every day some amount of time for your studies, then definitely there's a course which you can easily clear. So consistency is what it matters, and the next one is you should be able to put smart efforts, because many of them start studying for 16, 17 hours a day. So it's not hard work that is very important, it's a smart work. It is the way you need to study each subject, you need to plan. So the only two things that is very important is consistency and smart work. I think with these two, even the one of the toughest courses you can easily clear across all the three levels with very good marks.
okay, that's really good to hear from you. So if you follow consistency, then CA course is not going to be difficult for you. So that's great. And how much months did you get for your CA examination, and how did you plan for the CA final, especially the CA final examination, and how does this Corona second wave affected your CA final examination? How did you overcome those difficulties? Can you just share with us?
Yeah, so it was actually a different experience because even at our articleship, suddenly there was a lockdown, so we had to resort to online audits. So there were too many calls. So suddenly it was a very different experience, and side by side we had to manage our studies as well because it came during the third year of articleship. So we were almost nearing to our exams. So it was a different experience. So, with respect to that time, it was slightly tough to manage because even audits were getting stretched because it was a new experience for everybody, both the auditor as well as the auditee. So, I used to generally plan my studies during early morning hours. So, at least like during 6:30 to 8:30 or like that, I used to plan at least 2.5 hours a day. And night, sometimes I used to get time. Sometimes if the audit work stretches, I didn't have time. So, I generally used to ensure that at least I study for 2 hours a day, that I kept it as a bare minimum because it was a crucial period in the third year. And then during being an article in Big Four, I got around 5 months of leave from Jan to May. So I ensured, sorry, from December to May, I ensured that before I go on articles, I at least complete watching lectures. So I ensured that I completed watching lectures, though I didn't finish full preparation from my side, but I at least finished watching lectures. So once I was onto exam leave, I started my own preparation. So this is a common mistake which many students make. They start preparation itself, that is, they start watching classes itself in their exam leave, which I think it is not a preferable option. So better to finish watching classes before your exam leave and start your own preparation in your exam leave. So I ensured that in the 5 months, so we had exams like a weekly chapter wise test every Sunday from December itself. So according to those chapter wise tests, I started preparing. So by February end, I was able to finish once. Then in March, I revised once. In April, I wrote a model exam. Then again, we had a 2 months extension thanks to Corona. So in those 2 months, I had again ability to revise and I started writing ICA papers. And then finally, we had the examination in July. So it's very important to ensure that you're done with your watching classes at least before your exam leave.
So you were happy about the leave extension because of this COVID again. Right? So the point here is complete all your classes before the beginning of the exam leave. And the exam leave is there to start your preparation and revision and not to watch classes. So make sure of that. Can you just share with us some specific tips for both practical as well as theory subjects?
So actually, one thing I want to tell is I think in CA final, except SFM, almost all are theory subjects. So even though financial reporting has sums, you need to write a lot of theory from the respective standards before this going to math. You need to write a lot of theory from the standards. So as per my this one, I think except one subject, all others are mostly predominant theoretical subjects. That's what makes CA final slightly tough because it is highly memory based. So, with respect to practical subjects, wherever sums are involved, one specific tip will be please, whenever you're doing sums, ensure that you mark important questions. That is very, very important. Eight subjects, all are very big. So, I can say each subject is an ocean. It is very, very difficult to revise and retain. So, please mark important questions that will enable you to revise effectively in that 1.5 days. And also with respect to theory subjects, please go through the structure or manner of answering by ICA. That is very, very important because many people complain that they have written their conclusions well, but they didn't get the expected marks because they have not followed the structure or the pattern in which ICA answers a particular question. Especially in audit and law, people encounter this situation. So please ensure that in audit and law, any theory subject, whenever you're going through a question which has been asked by ICA, ensure that you understand the pattern or what they expect in the answer. That is very, very important. For example, in law, they expect you to write the section, what is there in the section. They expect you to write the specific case study and then conclude. So the conclusion will carry very less weightage in an answer. So please ensure that you follow that structure. That is very, very important. So with respect to theory subjects, please follow the structure. With respect to practical subjects, please mark important questions. Also in theory subjects, please mark important questions. That is very, very important. The main task is the 1.5 days revision. Have a very good plan as to how you'll revise. Do a mock revision before your exam. That is very, very important because what you study in that 1.5 is what you'll be able to write effectively in the examination. So please plan well for the 1.5 days revision. So I think marking important questions, covering all the concepts, and 1.5 days revision plan will easily enable you to succeed in the main examination. And also one thing is there is something called as ABC analysis. I am not asking you to rigidly follow that, but what I would suggest is ensure that you prioritize your revision based on ABC analysis. I'm not asking you to leave your C chapters, but because all the subjects are very big, sometimes you may not get time to revise the entire topics. That time, if you suppose you have let some topics and those topics are A topics, that is the most important topics, then you might end up losing a lot in the examination. So please ensure that you follow ABC analysis for the order of revision. So first you revise all the A chapters, then you revise B chapters. So even though you don't have time in emergency situations or contingency, if you don't have any time, what you'll be leaving is only C chapters, which has very less weightage in the examination, which will not be harming you much. So please follow ABC analysis only for the order of prioritization. That's it. So if you follow these, I think you'll definitely ace the main examination.
Good. And actually, you said about this 1.5 days revision. So most of the common question among the CA student is how to prepare in that 1.5 days before the examination. So can you just explain a brief about, you were saying about some mock revision, right? So can you please
Yes.
elaborate on that? How did you do that in your
Yes.
1.5?
Yes. So how I did is, so once I finished in February, my chapter wise, one time I finished reading. Then in March, I revised for 4 or 5 days a subject. So then in April, I reduced it to 2 days. So I gradually kept reducing my revision time. So I ensured that before the main exam, I was testing whether I was able to complete within 1.5 days. So I had a particular plan in which order I need to study the chapters. So I implemented that plan to ensure that I'm able to finish this in 1.5 days so that I'm comfortable for the main examination. So I would want everyone to just test their plan. It is not important that you have a plan. You also test and see the feasibility of the plan, that whether you're able to complete it within 1.5 days, what you are thinking of. Sometimes we tend to overestimate our capacity or we tend to underestimate our capacity. So if you implement a mock revision, then you'll be able to strike a balance. So I think that is very, very important. And also for 1.5 days effective revision, marking important questions, important concepts, and following ABC analysis is very, very helpful. So it will be focusing only on the important things that will fetch you more marks.
Recent times, CA exams are getting difficult. At least one or two papers are made difficult in every attempt. So how a CA student can tackle those difficult papers, especially under examination scenario?
So one thing that I would say is when the paper is difficult, or we would say the paper is out of box, like how it was in July with respect to audit and in December with respect to law. One thing that a student should understand is he should not lose his confidence in the exam. That is very, very important because believe me, if you are a person who has studied all the concepts reasonably well and you're thorough, if a paper is difficult to you, then the paper will be difficult for the whole country. So, because many times we think that, oh, the paper is difficult only for me, my friends, others are writing it very easily. So that is a fear which will uh, take you further down in the exam. Also, one thing, please have this thought process in mind that if you are a person who has studied reasonably well, then the paper will be tough for everybody. So everybody will be facing that difficulty. And one thing is never lose confidence in such situations, because if you observe keenly, even in a very tough paper, at least some 40 to 50 marks will be from past exam questions or from your ICA book questions. So once you lose confidence, you don't tend to search for such questions. So please be confident so that you can search those questions. Please answer those questions very well first, and then come to new questions. That time, with confidence, even certain new questions you might be able to answer, because sometimes one point is enough for you to get the answer easily. So please don't lose confidence. It is very, very important. Any out of box paper, handle that paper very confidently, irrespective of whatever happens. Then easily I think you can handle even a tough paper. And generally, whenever the paper is tough, the correction will be slightly lenient. So which you could see even in audit paper which happened in July. Many of them cleared. So many of them even didn't expect a passing mark, but many of them cleared in the paper. So whenever the paper is very tough, correction will be slightly lenient because the questions are very new. Not all the students would have written the same answer which I expected. That time the correction will be slightly lenient, and pass percentage will in that subject will be definitely more. So please be confident and write all the questions that you know very well first, and then attempt the difficult questions. And I think with this, you'll be able to easily tackle the difficult exam as well. Because be mentally prepared always in any examination. At least one paper in each group will be difficult. So that is a strategy being followed by ICA from many attempts.
All know that doing articleship itself is a hectic one. That to doing articleship in one of the big four is going to be a double hectic one. So in such a difficult phase of CA journey, you were taking lectures for CA intermediate and CA foundation students. So can you just share with us how did you manage the articleship as well as teaching? And can you just share with us your articleship experience and how was your teaching experience?
So actually, yes, articleship in the Big Four is hectic. That too in statutory department, where you only entry time is in your control, but not the exact time. So I was a part-time lecturer for accounts in the second year of my articleship. I did not take a full subject. Like I used to take accounting standards for CA Inter around for 5 to 6 days or 10 days maximum. So that was actually a very good experience because actually right from my childhood I just had a stage fear because I couldn't express myself in front of large crowd, but actually teaching enabled me to open up myself to a larger crowd. So now even if there's a larger crowd, I'm not really scared to express myself. So in that way, actually teaching helped me open up in many ways. So whilst articleship gave me a professional experience and exposure to a lot of new areas, teaching actually helped me to open up. And also teaching has helped me to always remain in touch with the concepts because that is very important. Once you finish CA inter, you generally don't touch your accounting standards, or you don't get time as well because CA final is there. So generally, this teaching of CA inter again helped me remain in touch with subject and also helped me to open up. With respect to time management, as I told you earlier, I was only a part-time lecturer, so I used to take only 10 days or like that. So during those days, yeah, I had to slightly reduce my own preparation for CA final, but actually I felt this will be a very good base for me in the future as well. So that's why I took it up, and it was a very good experience handling both a Big Four articleship as well as a teaching experience.
Okay, that's really inspiring. So even during the articleship, you just make sure that you are also studying for the CA final right from the first day of articleship, right?
Actually, so I joined for an all subjects batch, so where we had classes from initial itself. So I used to ensure that whatever they teach, at least in the classes, I used to keep revising and finishing up. That I never like piling up a lot, so I used to finish then and there because I don't like studying for long hours. Instead, I keep breaking my study pattern. I'll study for small hours.
Another common question among CA students is how can they effectively utilize the time while they are waiting for their results? So can you just give us some ideas so that it helps them to improve their resume value as well as help them while facing their interviews immediately after the results?
First thing, all the December students, please enjoy this time. This is the only time that you get to enjoy. So once you get your results, you'll be behind all the interviews, jobs. Then once you get into job, you'll become busy in work. So this is the only time where you will be free. So please ensure that you enjoy to the maximum at least this 1.5 months. And in terms of value add, maybe you can start doing any additional courses based on areas of interest. That is, you can start learning certain additional courses like any soft skills. You can work on your soft skills, language learning. Somebody can go on even for car driving classes. So you can have different soft skills that you can enhance. If you have any other interest, I want to study some of the course. I think you can start studying some of the courses like CFA, CCA. So but main thing is at least ensure that you enjoy this 1.5 months, and side by side you can work on your soft skills as well as any other academic course which you are interested on.
So, what are your future plans, both personally as well as professionally? Professionally means any further studies, and by personally, I mean marriage and other stuff.
Yeah, currently I'm working in financial due diligence department in KP in one of the big fours. At present, with respect to further studies, I'm yet to decide which course I am evaluating 2 or 3 courses, which one is to be done. So I'm just yet to decide. And with respect to soft skills, I'm just learning other courses like doing small courses like Python course or some other language courses because nowadays there is a requirement in few um, there's requirement in for few jobs where we need Python, SQL. So I think a CA knowing them will be a further value to an organization. So these are soft skills which I'm working on. Currently, no other plans with respect to anything else. So I'm just working as well as doing some soft skills courses. That's it.
So, personally, marriage, you know,
Nothing. No thoughts for now. So just so WCA. So few more days I have to just enjoy. So and also these aspects which they are more magical than logic. So let it happen when it happens. So why should we go behind it?
okay, I wish that magical thing happens to you soon. And
Okay, thank you. Same to you as well.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for being here for the interview and sharing with us valuable information, your ideas, strategies, and even CA final certificate copies. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kala. It was a pleasure talking with you.